Peace. Peace. My man right here rolling in the Bentley, son. Yo, man, we gonna talk about the purpose of arteries, man. What's the significance behind the arteries, man? I don't know if anybody ever touched upon this, man. Mostly when you hear about arteries, you hear about heart diseases and triple bypass surgery. You know, that's like, you know what I'm saying, doing all types of calibrating with the arteries, you know, cleaning it out because of the plaque buildup and things like that, toxins and foods that we consume, you know. But nobody really talk about the high science behind the purpose of the arteries, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's explained to people what's the significance behind the arteries, the real significance, not just to pump blood, the real significance, then it'll switch people's minds into thinking mode. Now they would begin to think like, damn, that's what the arteries is for? Now you thinking about it. Now you're going to be moving towards it. You know what I mean? But the purpose of the arteries is to assist you in activating higher senses. That's the purpose of the arteries. Activate higher senses. You have the standard wiring, your biological wires, you know, your veins and things like that, which allows you to manipulate, you know what I'm saying, the lower senses or standard senses. You don't want to say lower senses, standard senses. But those standard senses could be amplified, and they are amplified when more power is channeled in that direction. And that power will be channeled by way of the arteries. The arteries, as I stated before, serves as thick cable wires. You can look at it as an HDMI wire. You got different versions of HDMI wires, 1.3, you know what I'm saying, your 2.0s. They all got to do with a certain amount of gigabytes that they could take in. The gigabytes is just a general statement that describes information or knowledge, intelligence, whatever you want to call it, acumen. You know what I'm saying? So the thicker the wire, the more energy, aka knowledge, power, information, intelligence, acumen, whatever you want to call it, could be transferred. And once you transfer that energy, it is now being concentrated in a particular area. You know what I'm saying? All your senses is linked. And your senses, hold on, so I got to be specific when I say these things. I got to start being really specific, man. You know, because there's so many ways you could break it down. But, you know, when I say sense, you know, it's like, the soul is what really sense. The body doesn't entirely sense things. The soul is what really sense. The body feels. Okay? The body feels and the soul sense. So when I'm talking about activating higher senses, it just basically means that certain abilities that the body has now becomes heightened because you are viewing it from the soul. You are seeing things, aka comprehending things, how the soul would see it, or how the soul's supposed to see it, or how you supposed to see things, meaning how you supposed to comprehend things. It's two different, I mean, there's many different levels, but to just balance it out, it's two different levels of comprehension. You actually could be believing or knowing. You could be looking at a deception, which is forged light, or you could see the forged light for what it is, which is a lesson, different variables in energy. So activating of the higher senses would, or should I say, is possible when the host, you, the soul, come into the realization that you are the soul. And when you come into the realization that you are the soul and you really know who you are, you're not going to be moving on a frequency that's based on feeling, meaning the flesh. Everything that you come in contact with, you're going to realize that it's a lesson for you to learn, because that's what the experience is about, the lessons. And you ain't going to be able, you're not going to really so much do more, you're not going to so much really do things in the realm of feeling. It's going to be more on a high sense resonance. If things resonate with you, you're going to be on it. Now these days they got people doing things because they feel good about it. Or I feel like doing this, or I don't feel like doing that. I feel this, or that feel good. Let me do this, let me do that. But all based on the feeling, all based on the flesh, the false self, the standard senses, flesh, feeling. But the higher senses, resonance, soul. You know what I mean? When you activate that, now you in tune with who you are, and that gives you the ability to access more power. So now when you access that more power, meaning the soul, because when you realize that you're the soul and you start accessing that power, you're going to be on a course to enhance the power. Your food is going to change. The foods that you consume is going to change. And keep in mind that you feed your cells. You don't eat. You feed your vessel. The vessel needs the food. You feed all your cells. That's what your excrement comes from, the cells. So you're going to change your whole eating diets. Your surroundings going to change. People that you hang out with, you're not even going to hang around with them no more. You're going to be like in an isolated mind state where you're just going to be by yourself, but you're going to be constantly thinking throughout the whole entire day. It's just going to be thoughts that's just going to be coming in through your head, and you're going to be thinking. You're going to want to consume more minerals. The foods that you eat is going to be more minerals. You're just going to be, it's not like you're going to walk into the supermarket with a list and say, okay, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. It's like you're going to be naturally gravitated towards it because, yo, my man. You're going to be naturally gravitated towards it because now you are on the path. You are on the soul journey path. You know what I'm saying? You're on the soul journey path. Yes, it's good to learn about certain foods and things like that, but this is something that I'm speaking from experience, man. There's times I will go to the supermarket and just get certain types of foods that I never even ate before, all organic. But they would have a certain type of mineral in it. And then like weeks have passed, and then I would read something about some minerals, and then it would say that if you lack in this type of mineral in your diet, your body will go through this symptom. And then I would look back and see, damn, I was going through that symptom. And then I, you know what I'm saying, like see myself going into the supermarket a while back getting this certain type of food. So you would naturally be drawn to things because you already know. You know what I'm saying? You already know. So you will be on a quest to eat natural foods. So when you eating that natural foods, that's you enhancing the power of the body because the soul is now enhanced. So therefore, everything else is going to follow through. So now you're going to change your diet. You're going to stop entertaining a whole bunch of crap. You know what I'm saying? Things are just going to start opening up for you. Why? Because you activated the higher senses. So now you're on the higher path. So now more power is going to be accessible to you, but you have to go through the necessary training. The flesh got to go through the necessary training. So now you're eating more foods, you know, and the foods that you're eating is clearing out the arteries because your soul is online now. So now the foods that you're eating is clearing out the arteries because the power is increasing, and the soul realizes that there's certain complications that exist within the body, certain ailments and things like that. So now you are being put on a natural course to detox the body so that when that time comes, the soul will come online even more energy will be fluctuating throughout the body, and there's not going to be no forms of obstructions that exist within the body. So your veins going to be clean, blood going to be clean, arteries going to be clean, neuronic canal going to be clean, everything just going to be clean out. So now boom, the higher senses come on. Now you're just going to be picking up frequency. You're going to be consuming foods that's going to have like more silver in it, the mineral silver, because that enhances you to pick up certain high frequency sounds. You know, that's why they use, you know, a lot of silver or that iron stuff with these antennas.